virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I constitute this assembly a congregation of the University of Cape Town.
The national anthem will now be sung. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite Simeon Brown, Treasurer of the SRC, to read the university dedication.
At this time of celebration, we, the members of the University of Cape Town, reaffirm our mission to nurture rational and creative thought and free inquiry, to strive for excellence in teaching and research, to educate for life and to address the challenges of our society. We undertake to advance these ideals in a spirit of freedom and responsibility, and through consultation and debate. We celebrate our founders, benefactors, and predecessors, those who have built the fabric and nourished the values of UCT. To those of you who will graduate today, we wish courage, wisdom, and purpose. To those who will leave the university to learn and work elsewhere, may you be sustained by those values which unite us here today and advance them in the world beyond. A love of truth and of learning, and of this, our university. Thank you.
Please be seated.
To fight the unbeatable foe, to bear with unbearable sorrow, to run where the brave dare not go, to right the unrightable wrong, to love pure and chaste from afar, to thrive when your arms are too weary, to reach the unreachable star. This is my quest, to follow that star, no matter how hopeless, no matter how far, to fight for the right with without question or pause, to be willing to march into hell for a heavenly cause. And I know if I'll only be true to this glorious quest, that my heart will lie peaceful and calm when I'm laid to my rest. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star. And the world will be better for this, that one man scorned and covered with scars still strove with his last ounce of courage to reach the unreachable star.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was, of course, The Impossible Dream from the musical The Man of La Mancha by Dale Wasserman. And lifting our spirits this afternoon with his beautiful tenor voice was Kanyisu Wenkane. And he was accompanied on the piano by Francois Bueta, and earlier, Francois Bueta and the Gaudiamus and the National Anthem were performed by singers from the UCT Opera School, and they were accompanied on the organ by Eben Wagenstroom. And one more thing, Eben will be graduating on the 18th of December this year with 5 distinctions. The Vice-Chancellor will now say a few words of welcome.
Good afternoon and welcome to the graduands and to your loved ones, family, friends, supporters who have come to support you not only today and celebrate in your joyous achievement, but who have supported you through your studies emotionally, financially, psychologically. And on behalf of the university, we want to say thank you especially to you for the support you have shown to these wonderful students that are graduating today. Most of today's graduates will be postgraduate degrees. In other words, they will already have graduated once before, and this will be their second or third graduation. But many have come from other universities, and for many this will be the first time they are graduating from the University of Cape Town. And as such, you join a very distinguished group of alumni who constitute the Convocation of the university and who perform a really important role, which is exemplified in today's ceremony. One of those is to elect the President of Convocation, and you will meet the President shortly, who will award the President of Convocation's medal. A second is to elect the Chancellor of the university, and our Chancellor, Mrs. Grosser-Michel, is with us today to officiate at this ceremony. And you elect a Chancellor based on her values that we hope will embody the values of the university, her integrity, her gravitas, the function she performs as a role model for students, her being the face of the university in many quarters and an advocate for the university. And we're extremely privileged to have Mrs. Grosser-Michel as our Chancellor in her second term, and I invite you to welcome her to the graduation ceremony. The ceremony is one in which we celebrate the achievements of individuals through their study, but also through their research. And again, the ceremony itself exemplifies what is great about the university. I invite you to read through the explanations of the dissertations of the PhD graduates, the dissertations are summarized at the back of your program, to get a sense of some of the spectrum and the depth and the exciting work that's being done, and to also make the point that this is research that will change our society and our world, and that is relevant to our lives and the lives of the communities around us. Of course, today's graduation ceremonies focus specifically on law and on health sciences, so that is also the focus of the doctoral programs. It's a very large number of doctorates this year. Across the 13 graduation ceremonies, we will be graduating over 112 PhDs, the largest number we've ever graduated. And across all the ceremonies, including all of our graduates, undergraduates and postgraduates, well over 5,500. Again, a record for our university, and again, a demonstration of the contribution we make to feeding the economy, feeding the society with highly skilled graduates. My congratulations to you all. Enjoy the ceremony. It's a celebration. It's not meant to be serious. It's not a church service. So let your hair down and ululate and show your love and appreciation for your loved ones when they graduate.
Chancellor, the President of Convocation Medal honors a past student who has made a distinguished community contribution. Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the award of the President of Convocation Medal for 2014, William Pick, Professor in the Department of Public Health and Family Medicine. Chancellor, Emeritus Professor William Pick is an alumnus of the University of Cape Town. He achieved the award of both his MB.CHB and M.Med in Community Health degrees in the Faculty of Medicine, now the Faculty of Health Sciences. His account of his experience as a medical student here forms a chapter in his book, The Slave Has Overcome, published in 2007. A review of the book summarized his experience as one of unrelenting dehumanization. That is a dark part of our history. Nevertheless, this was the start of an illustrious career in medicine, health sciences, and human rights. In Ravensmead, on the Cape Flats, Dr. Pick was a doctor for the people, a well-loved and trusted general practitioner who went out of his way to address the health of his patients in a holistic manner beyond narrow clinical and medical interventions. He made significant contributions to the health sector of the mass democratic movement and to the advancement of health as a human right, through his leadership of organizations such as the Health Workers Society. Dr. Pick played a role in the KTC Health Project, a pioneer primary health care project endorsed by the community, providing an alternative model to the prevailing doctor-centered, hospital-based healthcare system. It also aimed to mobilize people around health issues to oppose the apartheid regime. In defiance of the law, a community health worker training program was embarked upon. This involvement in civil society organizations, making the connection between the needs of the community and society on the one hand, and the limitations of personal medicine in addressing community health on the other, strengthened his interest in community medicine and public health. This was to become the focus of the next phase of his career. A part-time course in public health at the University of the Witwatersrand was followed by specialization in community medicine at UCT and resulted in his rapid ascent through a career of distinguished leadership in public health. He has received a number of awards, and he has played an important role in support of the country's health transformation through his involvement in the development of a strategic framework for human resources in the health sector. He chaired the first ministerial committee on human resources for health and led the national task team that produced a national strategy for human resources for health in 2000. He has been appointed to the advisory committee of the National Health Insurance and contributed to the National Development Plan. He has served within and beyond academia in the transformation of health and society. The story of Professor William Pick is one of a health worker who has embraced the concept of health in its broadest definition and who has excelled in many spheres. This is a proud opportunity for the Convocation of UCT, including the alumni of his generation and those who have followed, to pay tribute to Professor Pick's contribution towards the construction of a health system designed to meet the needs of society. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite you to award the President of Convocation Model for 2014 to William Pick.
Chancellor, election to a fellowship is a singular honor, recognizing original and significant contributions to knowledge. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for a fellowship of the university, Clifford Shearing, Emeritus Professor in the Department of Public Law. Chancellor, Clifford Shearing has made distinguished contributions in the field of security governance. His research and writing has dealt with the development of theoretical understandings that can be used to enhance the quality of security and justice governance, contributing to the development of institutions and processes that enhance the ability of poor collectivities to both direct and add value to their own security and justice. He is currently developing research on environmental security. Professor Shearing has expanded the focus of criminology to practices of social ordering beyond government institutions and to non-state institutions that scholars have commonly refused to acknowledge. His concept of nodal policing and governance of security are now part of the lexicon of a growing body of explanatory and normative work on developments across the world and at different geographies of analysis. Chancellor, I have the honor to invite you to award a fellowship to the university, of the university to Clifford Shearing.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Science in Medicine, honoris causa, Rodney James Douglas. How do you think about your brain? If you lived in 17th century Europe, it was fashionable to describe the brain in terms of piping and water reticulation, like the water features at Versailles. In the 19th century, you might have used the telephone exchange as the metaphor. In the 20th and 21st, we've chosen the computer as our analogy, with the brain crunching its way through billions of inputs each second, memory as RAM, and the mind as the software. This is the area of research of Rodney Douglas, UCT, BSc Medicine, MBCHB, and PhD graduate. If the brain was like a computer, then for our 86 billion neurons to function, this human brain computer would need megawatts, like a power station's worth of power. It would need zettabyte quantities of data, that's about 1 billion downloaded movies, and would not be able to function if any of the internal hardware, like a transistor, for example, failed. We can keep on creating fabulous analogies, but what interests Rodney Douglas is that our real brains use hardly any power at all, about 20 watts. So an ordinary 100-watt globe could power 5 brains. Brains are based on only about 1 gigabyte, that's 1 movie of information. They lose neurons all the time, but still continue to function. They can program themselves, and most of all, have creative intelligence. Rodney Douglas has been at the forefront of transforming the scientific understanding of the mysteries of brain function. His leanings were obvious early on when he set up an isolated heart experiment as a school biology project. But he rapidly moved from amateur cardiology through UCT's Department of Physiology to the directorship of the Institute of Neuroinformatics in Zurich and a radical approach to neuroscience. There he employs doctors, biologists, physicists, mathematicians, computer scientists, and engineers, all applying their minds to exploring this intriguing problem. Douglas's most significant contribution, and the one that he's proudest of, is the development of something that he calls the canonical microcircuit. His canonical microcircuit suggests that function of great complexity can rest in startling simplicity. 18 years later, his theory was experimentally verified in 3 papers that came out in Nature Neuroscience in 2013. Not that the research stopped whilst waiting for verification. In that time, Douglas published nearly 200 scientific papers, supervised 46 PhD graduates, and initiated a number of international workshops, including the PowerPoint-free Capocaccia Neuromorphic Engineering Workshop. In the last 10 years, Douglas and his team in Zurich have challenged the thinking and challenged the science of the field. They work in the brand new disciplines of computational neuroscience and neuromorphic engineering, something that even a spell checker doesn't know. They have experimentalists who build brain-like hardware, biologist engineers who measure neurons down to the last dendrite width, and computational neuroscientists who take these measurements and reconstruct the neuron in 3D, all with the idea that if we can move beyond the water pipe, the telephone exchange, and the computer, we can glimpse brain function and thus discover how a brain built of neurons actually has real intelligence. Chancellor, I have the honor to present for the award of the degree of Doctor of Science in Medicine, honoris causa, Rodney James Douglas.
Normally, it would now be my duty to introduce the guest speaker, But since the orator has done so very ably, I am only left with saying that it is my great honor to ask Professor Douglas to address the congregation.
Chancellor, Vice-Chancellor, the academic staff, the graduates today, parents, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for the offer that you've bestowed on me today and for giving me the opportunity to speak to you for a short while. Let me say immediately that I would not be standing here today were it not for the many contributions to my scientific success made by my students and my collaborators. Nor would it be possible without the sound foundation provided by my parents and my teachers at Sachs and here at UCT. I wish to acknowledge in particular my colleague Kevin Martin, also a graduate of UCT, with whom I have collaborated closely for over 30 years. First in the various labs in Oxford, and then later as co-founders of the Institute of Neuroinformatics at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology and the University of Zurich. I've been very fortunate in my academic life, but the greatest of my fortunes has been to have amusing, sometimes cynical, always creative and wise presence of friends and colleagues. It's been a remarkably brief 40 years since I was sitting in your seats, here at graduation and gazing upwards towards these venerable members of faculty in this imposing Jamison Hall, and then contemplating what the future held for me. Before that day of graduation, I had a very ambiguous relationship with this hall. As an undergraduate, the thought of the Jamison Hall evoked in me only this kind of creeping dread of sitting amongst rows of exam tables, little scratchings of 100 pens on their exam books. And that ambitious desire for success in this kind of arcane world of the mind was then thoroughly mixed with the scent, this kind of scent of jasmine that flowed in through these windows in the warm summer breeze, and sort of beckoning persuasively towards the more physical mysteries of life. In short, throughout my undergraduate years, the Jamison Hall symbolized for me a kind of fluctuating struggle between the demands of the mind and the call of the flesh. But finally, through the rites of graduation such as this, the Jamison Hall brings another vision, transformation from our intellectual youth into the larger process of our creative life, and it also brings a perspective. Okay. We move out onto the solid steps of the Jamison and into this kind of clear Cape sunlight, and then for the first time you kind of grasp how the education and experience here at UCT elevates you magically above the routine of daily life, and from this elevated place you look out towards the mountains, challenges of the future, and you're drawn inevitably towards the hinterland of your professional life, wherever that may take you. It's been a great privilege to study here at UCT. It is assuredly the most beautiful and serene campuses that I've ever encountered. UCT gave me a very clear sense of foundation, embedded in the charismatic mountain, surrounded by the ivy-covered walls, sharpened by the continual critical and amusing discussion of my friends and students, strengthened by the endless hours in practical laboratories and the bedsides of the medical school, and nurtured, but nevertheless fully tested by my teachers. With this foundation, I've never doubted my ability to compete in the international arena, and I hope that you, as graduates again today, that you too are conscious of and thankful for the privilege of your preparation here at UCT. As postgraduates, your professional quest is already underway, you've already committed yourself to the task of refining and increasing understanding. We'll hear later today in the ceremony, and you'll see in the back of the book, the advances that you're already making towards solutions of crucial problems such as AIDS, TB, poverty, and human rights. These are the first fruits of what we expect will be your many contributions to civilization. You are now an integral part of an amazing universal process whereby mankind has been able to increase the accuracy of knowledge from the first fashioning of stone axes to the description of our own genome. I became part of this process of discovery nearly 50 years ago in a small laboratory in the physiology department of the UCT Medical School, where a few teachers and a handful of students became fascinated by questions of neuroscience. At that time, there was very little tradition of neuroscience at UCT and barely any resource available for it. We scavenged unused equipment from dusty corners, and what we could not find or afford, we built ourselves in the workshops of the physiology department under the bemused guidance of the technicians. About that time, the first laboratory-sized electronic computers were becoming available, and with great effort, we persuaded the medical faculty to buy one on condition that we students would install and maintain it. The revolutionary Data General Eclipse minicomputer, sporting an amazing 64 kilobytes of RAM, was installed in a small disused shed where the shining Wolfson building now stands. That fledgling neuroscience lab, with its avant-garde interest in computers, automated data collection, and neural computation, gave rise in a few short years to a half a dozen essentially self-taught neuroscientists whose abilities and innovative methods took them quickly to positions at Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, Caltech, Maryland, Illinois, the Weizmann, Max Planck, and the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology. They have all become international leaders in their field. And for example, one of the largest neuroscience projects of all time, Europe's €1 billion Human Brain Project, is now led by a student from that little lab at medical school with its charming view of the wildebeest trotting through the tall grass on the slopes of Devil's Peak. So, even though we may have a relative lack of resource, the training and exploratory spirit of UCT is able to make a world-class impact on science and society. And indeed, I believe that we gain advantage through being somehow leaner and hungrier than our colleagues at more well-endowed institutions. My personal scientific quest has been twofold. Firstly, in neuroscience, to understand the nature of computation in the neuronal circuits of the neocortex, that region of the brain that is crucially involved in intelligent behavior. And secondly, through neuromorphic engineering, to apply that knowledge to the development of novel electronic technologies for brain-like computation. During my career, I've had the privilege and pleasure to work at the world's foremost neuroscience laboratories and to collaborate with many of the smartest neuroscientists on the planet. Together with them, I've made many important contributions to neuroscience and neuromorphic engineering that I could only possibly have dreamed of when I sat here. The orator has generously outlined some of my work. Thank you very much. However, this is very important, I think. However, despite these satisfying advances, my personal quest remains unfinished. I have not yet solved the central scientific questions that have driven me all my life. What is the nature of neural computation? What that so reliably organizes our complex physical body? And how is that derived from the information in a single cell? How does that process then continue to structure the connection between neurons and build a model of the world? How is that knowledge of evolution combined with the experience of individuals so that you may interact effectively with the world? And how are the connections in your brains changing even now as you listen to me? For if they did not do so, you would have no recall of today. I and my colleagues continue to grapple with these problems and the implications for science and technology. It's important for young postgraduates to recognize that this essential lack of closure in our understanding is the very nature of the scientific quest. both in mythology of the quest, and also in reality. We strive, we search, we speculate, we suffer various degrees of defeat, we celebrate various degrees of success, but we are certainly not guaranteed to fully solve our life question. Instead, it's the delight in the unfolding discovery that drives us ever onward. As in many endeavors, the journey of discovery is far more satisfying than its end, and it's our collective journey rather than the individual end that propels the growth of human knowledge. And so it's together that we need to tend the lamp of knowledge that is symbolized in chief on UCT's coat of arms. But we should understand that that lamp is fragile. It's protected by a castle and anchored in an ocean. Coat of arms reminds us that civilization is not guaranteed to advance in knowledge and responsibility. The lamp must be guarded vigilantly because knowledge and its application are not always for the good of mankind. For example, over 2,000 years ago, the Great Museum of Alexandria was dramatically successful, gathering together the great scholars of the Mediterranean and the Middle Eastern world. They made substantial progress in astronomy, physics, mathematics, geography, medicine, law, and literature. And they safeguarded the record of their progress by assembling that information in their famous library. But the increase of knowledge and sophistication of Alexandria attracted to itself conflicting ideologies and religions which struggled for supremacy at the cost of scholarship and respect for truth. Bigotry, combined with Roman militarism, crushed the scholarship of Alexandria and extinguished the lamp of knowledge, and drove civilization into 1,000 years of darkness. Now again, we live in an age of dramatic growth of knowledge and spectacular technology progress. And again, ideologies, religions, and militarism grow. The responsibility rests with all of us to ensure that in these exciting but unstable times, we tread vigilantly and with integrity to ensure that the lamp of knowledge is not again extinguished. UCT has ensured that you are prepared to do well in this task. Now it remains for you to do good. I thank you for your attention and good luck to all of you. Thank you.
Professor Douglas, your life in science is an inspiration to all who seek to understand how the brain functions, and indeed to all scientists and researchers. And in a university where we are placing renewed emphasis on neurosciences, we are very proud to call you one of our own. Thank you very much for your words today. Thank you very much for your generous acknowledgement of your alma mater, and thank you for a perfect speech. Thank you. Chancellor, before 1994, and not only after 1948, UCT was complicit in practices that denied many staff and students full and dignified participation in the life of the university. These practices caused hurt, and as a reaction, especially in the period 1950 to 1993, increasing numbers of students declined to participate in graduation celebrations that ignored this hurt. The Council and Senate have invited students of that period who did not attend their ceremonies to attend a suitable ceremony in the years leading up to the centenary of degree awarding status in 2018 for re-graduation. In part to remind us of that history, in part to ensure that we listen to those who feel marginalized today, and in part as a restorative ritual. A small number have accepted the invitation for re-graduation today. Among them is Margot Emmanuel. Chancellor, I have the honor to present for re-graduation for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Medicine Honors in Medical Biochemistry and Master of Science in Medicine and Medical Microbiology, Margot Jill Emmanuel.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I admit to the degrees specified and grant the diplomas specified to the candidates recorded as in absentia. I shall now grant the diplomas and admit to the degree specified the candidates to be presented to me.
I hereby invite the graduates of the Faculty of Health Sciences and members of the health sciences profession to join me in saying the Health Sciences Declaration that can be found on page 10 of the program. Please stand. I solemnly pledge to serve humanity. My most important considerations will be the health of patients and the health of their communities. I will not permit considerations of age, gender, race, religion, ethnic origin, sexual orientation, disease, disability, or any other factor to adversely affect the care I give to patients. I will uphold human rights and civil liberties to advance health, even under threat. I will engage patients and colleagues as partners in healthcare. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity. I will respect the confidentiality of patients, present or past, living or deceased. I will value research and will be guided in its conduct by the highest ethical standards. I commit myself to lifelong learning. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you for the postgraduate diploma in addiction care, Johan Stafford Kutzer Liversedge. Tracy Anne Le Breton. Simone Claire Ortel. Jurgens Jacobus Smit. Arthur Leon van Zyl. For the postgraduate diploma in disability studies, Zelda Mubi. For the postgraduate diploma in health management, Andre John Stoffels. For the postgraduate diploma in health professional education, Yvette Andrews. Mercy Dottie Banyini. Sharazad Hassan. Cosmas Haushiku Kembo. Sonia Raylene Lewis. Fikile Precious Mafuya. Chifiwa Cynthia Mandiwana. Leslie Manganye. Danielle Ruth Milner. Nomawu Hova Hilda Shilubane. Aye Wamono. For the postgraduate diploma in nursing in advanced midwifery and neonatal care, with distinction, Chantal Badenhuizen. Jessica Naomi Finn Tace. Melissa Eloise Louis. Veronica Elizabeth Swigelaar. In child nursing, with distinction, Tracy Ann Barbara Castle. With distinction, Chikondi Sharon Chimbatata. Cecilia Monica Davidson. With distinction, Mtisunge Joshua Gondwe. Ravona Edith Goosen. Esther Jane Hasselman. Victoria Baron Kerway. Christina Krieger. Naomi Joyous Likumbo. Christina Balawia Malekelwa. Ntsikalelo Nicholas Manona. John Michael Mahango. Beverly Mankotloeng Mosiwa. Natombozuko Bridget Mechiswelwa. Michelle Anthea Pakir. Lillian Salvatore. Victoria Suwe. Wilma Antoinette Thomas. In critical care nursing, child, Zenita Sandra Ambral. With distinction, Elisma Joanne Amsterdam. Marilyn Caesar. Tobeka Oriana Duma. Carolyn Isaiah Essel. Ntomisa Julia Fatuse. With distinction, Lanashri Govender. Wilhelmina Shinangashetu Hekanjo. Teboho Kalitz Kujoana. Ntombentlanu Carolyn Majo. Danesile Eti Mbale Makubo. With distinction, Samantha Jasmine Mayer. Vuyokazi Milakuhlwa. Tsokolo Mary Motsuane. Notkolo Elizabeth Notkoebo. Pumiza Julian Nkasana. Ntabiseng Malefa Gladys Nkopi. Zanelli Primrose Sapepo. Ruth Jane Tsolo. Godwin Abeiku Yankson. In nephrology nursing, Ifeoluwa Femi Ayayi. Petronella Bota. With distinction, Toli Hlachwayo. Lindelani Lichechise. Jacobeth Sindisiwi Madlala. Michael Mtungwana. Dikiledi Magdalene Motong. With distinction, Nagoa Kuana Clara Mafumadi. Nonkululeku Bongiwe Ntuli. With distinction, Mary Johanna Ogilvie. Zoleka Petunia Kwabi. Motsei Daphne Tobosi. For the postgraduate diploma in occupational health, with distinction, Belize Duplessis. Sebang Leonard Lelisa. Rosalind Mosha. With distinction, Melolo Muriel Justine Aureli Mukenge. With distinction, Nazreen Sayed. With distinction, Zahida Sondeh. For the postgraduate diploma in pesticide risk management, Chepu Lili Mosedame. Shumirai Muhera. For the postgraduate diploma in psychotherapy, Beverly Helen Draper. Taryn Nicholas.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, for the postgraduate diploma in law and commercial law, Abungela Asanda Joy. Elias Francis Mkata. In criminal justice, Voyo Nklangu. In environmental law, Eba Matthews Ngapaya. In tax law, Rihanna Kasim. Sazi Chaka. For the degree of Bachelors of Law, David Dietliffs. Shamima Ali. Nuha Ahmadine. Sarah Page Banner. Melanie Ann Bauer. Michaela Isabel Bolton. Jamie Lee Brandis. Yeleni Georgia Brandes. Stephanie Ann Burtonshaw. Danelle Campbell. Greta Carr. Wenica Carrera. Kira Jade Castle. Yasin Chetty. Kelly Cowell. Martin Cowlin. Jared Ryan Davidson. Tara Davis. Rabea Desai. Goshen Effendi. Mohammed Zaid Elika. Amy Catherine Farish. Brittany Feltman. Jessica Rose Foster. Nabila Galant. Taslima Ghani. Harsha Zoe Jiwala. Magna cum laude, Andrew John Gilliam. David Samuel Goldberg. Roseanne Lynn Gorvin. Nicholas Edward Neville Griffin. Olwetu Gusha. Gareth John Handley. Natalie Claudie Harton. Jonathan Carl Hock. Bruce Daniel Hughes. Kerry Lynn Hutchings. Janara Alessandra Ndivera. Daniel Michael Isaacson. Maud Vitima Jera. Nutonga Ngatuani Kisuto. Megan Zara Korba. Kelly Maxine Kowalski. Amanda Nisipo Kunene. Saud Lari. Laura Lambert. Kerry Lee Langschmidt. Michael David Law. Rosamond Catherine Mary Lineberger. John Frederick Lopser. Tracy Lee Lusty. Ngibo Ndabentle Mabazela. Mhlali Magakha. Tamsanka Malusi. Lloyd Anthony Manning. Saviwe Mnatwa. Jonathan Ian McInerney. Nicholas Lindsay Llewellyn Mayer. Magna cum laude, Lauren Michelle Midgley. Kevin Timothy Minofu. Catherine Mitchell. Nomsa Hazel Malambo. Wela Nomazizi Mlokoti. Almaz Muhammad. Tabojo Ogeli Moloko. Kirsten Hella Mullins. Chiedza Sandra Musaredza. Kasethra Naidu. Hofiwe Nemakula. Matilda Rutendo Nengari. Kyong Kwang O. David Stewart Omrod. Thelma Numbalelo Pakati. Inga Pep. Farron Elizabeth Pearson. Craig Jonathan Pesci. Dean Matthew Pinto. Nicholas Pothecary. Jonathan Michael Purnell. Pierre-Therese Rebello. Xavier Dominic Rebello. Stacey Jade Rodkin. Julia Emma Rushton. Scott Thomas Salisbury. Jonathan Mark Serage Saville. Esmeralda Seyegas. Jonathan Dean Rishi Singh. Candice Lauren Spence. Cum laude, Max Taylor. Shanae Thompson. Catherine Lindsay Timoney. Ariella Tedesco. Carl Pierce Turner. Mtokozisi Chuma. Jamie Rees van der Riet. Marco Elaine Alex Vieira. Taj Fulyun. Liana Judy Williams. Caden John Wilson. Lisa Kate Wood. Magna cum laude, Chloe Wooden. Nicholas Anthony Wright.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, for the degree of Bachelor of Science in Medicine Honors in Forensic Genetics, Michelle Jo Wilson. In Nutrition and Dietetics, Candy Jacobs. Gabrielle Lana Lasker. Nuran Martin. Landiwe Nomatemba Mpala. Mukondeleli Takalani Mokodobwane. Hanneke Elisabeth Potgieter. Christopher Mark Rabi. Rahel Howard Sanzul. Kaylee van Heerden. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honors in Bioinformatics, First Class, Alexa Storm Heeks. Pahira Moyo Farahi Kachamwa. First Class, Wimbahi Carolyn Mandikumba. In Cell Biology, First Class, Jenna Susan Blelock. Joy Marie Boyce. First Class, Danica Ann Smuts. In Human Genetics, First Class, Karen Lee Brown. First Class, Jonathan James Evans. First class, Jenna Leah Oosthuizen. First class, Kirsten Blythe Seal. First class, Lynn Tyers. In infectious diseases and immunology, first class, Daniel James Stadler Egan. Tamlin McQueen. First class, Michael Francois Nell. First class, Edith Parker. First class, Jonathan Paul Spanos. First class, Lauren Carey Whitehead. In medical biochemistry, first class, Sarah Louise Carden. First class, Elise Andrea de Kock. First class, Emily Claire McGrath. Winful Jaconia Masipa. First class, Tajan Elizabeth Turnley. In pharmacology, Nicole Joanne Links. First class, Jeffrey Mark Ndorvo. First class, Lloyd Tanner. In physiology, Rachel Christie Reed Bean. First class, Richard Joseph Berman. First class, Christopher Brian Curran. Jorik Fourie. First class, Cheryl Rajpal. First class, Lara Jane Van Noonen. In radiobiology, Muhammad Nadir Ghanif. In structural biology, first class, Jeremy Gareth Burgess. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honours, Exercise Science, first class, Taylor Kyle Chin. Anita Nokotula Gulwa. First class, Keegan Forrest Pearson. First class, James Michael Peart. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honours, Biokinetics, Joshua Mark Dahan. Stefanus den Hollander. Kagiso Di Gomo. Dana Stacy Kendall Ball. First class, Samantha Dawn O'Connor. First class, Sorrel Patricia Reed. For the degree of Bachelor of Medical Science Honours, Nutrition and Dietetics, Anel Skunius. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Family Medicine, Jennifer Mary Morgan. Julian Bernard Terilla. In neurosurgery, Johannes Martinus Nicolaas Enslen. In obstetrics and gynecology, with distinction in the dissertation, Pavarsan Archery. Louis Aaron Gadama. In otorhinolaryngology, with distinction in the dissertation, Gavin Sean Quayle. In surgery, Deepanjali Banerjee. Jacobus Christoffel Kloppers. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Medicine, Bradley Paul Griffiths. For the degree of Master in Medicine in Obstetrics and Gynecology, Nwabisa Giyosi. Gladys Chikumbutso Membe. Manazri Naiker. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Radiation Oncology, Biskar Reddy. For the degree of Master of Medicine in Surgery, with distinction in the dissertation, Johannes Martinez de Toy. For the degree of Master of Philosophy in Biokinetics, Rudolf Friedrich van Aarde. In Public Health, Tandi Chuma. In Sport and Exercise Medicine, with distinction in the dissertation, Marc Anthony Rousseau. With distinction in the dissertation, Alan Bruce Thompson. In Sports Physiotherapy, Martin Serembok. For the degree of Master of Philosophy in Emergency Medicine, in Clinical Emergency Care, Nadine Seymour. For the degree of Master of Public Health, With distinction in the dissertation, Shanaz Dawood. Robin Kalan. Mamonyowe Portia Motsweneng. In clinical research, Linda Nyambura Mureiti. In epidemiology, with distinction, Wisdom Basera. With distinction, Eric Wakesa Bunyasi. Erna Heather Morden. Vanessa Mudali. With distinction, Morel Nicole Porter. In health economics, Trafine Zulu. For the degree of Master of Science in Medicine in Biomedical Engineering, Fatima Sali. In cell biology, Anna Popovic. In clinical science and immunology, Tandeka Moyo. In exercise science, Nicola Ann Suri. In hematology, with distinction, Nontlantla Cecilia Madleche. In medical biochemistry, Umisan Nair. In medical virology, Iyalo Mbodo. In neuroscience, Nokotula Makena. With distinction, Asanda Matintsilana. Nicolina Tandiwe van der Merwe. In nutrition, Kondwani George Happy Katundu. For the degree of Master of Science in Nursing, Hilma Shikwambi. For the degree of Master of Science in Occupational Therapy, Nayaradzai Esther Dangarembizi. With distinction in the dissertation, Clement Nwunzvi. For the degree of Master of Science in Speech-Language Pathology, with distinction, Olebeng Olive Mahura.
Chancellor, I have the honour to present to you, for the degree of Masters of Law, Sharon Nambasa. In Commercial Law, Adikuna Yawanda Adelaide. Paran Chadakrant Bohara. Elena Ernstberger. With distinction, Benjamin Lupi. Amanda Nyasha Mashungi. Edward Siabonga Matabela. Peter Matuku Mbiti. Buyili Doris Mkluli. Shirley Agri Lumuka. Victor Pambili Ngaleka. Sani Babasani. James William Smith. Oluwatosin Mudupe Solanki. In comparative law in Africa, Jane Chunyeram Diala. In constitutional and administrative law, Taboho Tutozi Mapudisi. Sherilyn Shale Naidu. In criminal justice, Julie Ingrid Lugulu. Theopheli Sugira. In human rights law, Ronald Hoffman. In intellectual property law, Sipu Mudau. Saima Litoleni Jahalwa. Bram van Vila. Ena Nambo Vilho. In international law, Diana Chabotungi. Eugene Lazazi Lebebi. In international trade law, Nancy Washinga Kemal. Ephraim Masiba. Mateshan Santa. Mabela Cynthia Corbella. In Marine and Environmental Law, Moira Lee Johnston. In private law, with distinction, Richard Henry Kramer. In public law, Tilana Deslin Halley. In shipping law, Samuel John Davidson. Katerina Margareta Solf. For the degree of Masters of Laws in Commercial Law, Anthony James Messino Anabaka. With distinction, Brittany Elizabeth Anderson. Jacqueline Aturinda. Marvin Ricardo Awarab. Shaista Bulbulia. Morlisa Christopher Chida. Memory Garesis. Hambele Lini Twamangoluka Haita. Jesse Jutinen. Michaelis Andrea Makalides. Molly Penny Yambiko Nakapela. Junior Babila Ngwa. Pamela Aching Ogwang. Chisholm Chioma Okafor. Chiedza Shuniwa. With distinction, Jessie van Oppen. For the degree of Masters of Laws in Labour Law, Kumaran Govender. Diantha Clara Price-Jones. With distinction, Jean-Philippe Klimberg. Elliot Sanhewe. For the degree of Master of Laws in Shipping Law, Sylvia Corona Gonzalez. For the degree of Master of Philosophy in Commercial Law, Anacleta Gaspar Henda Domingos. In International Law, Nalaga Inda Pandula Amadila. In Labour Law, Jack Francis Erskine Channels. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Public Law, for a thesis which explores the theoretical and legal principles to be applied in resolving the continuous tension between children's participation rights, parental responsibility, and state intervention in medical and reproductive decision-making, Admark Moyer. For a thesis that empirically examines the legal and regulatory framework that allowed FIFA to govern the security during the 2010 FIFA World Cup in South Africa, Sophie Nakura. For a thesis exploring the permissible limits within which counter-terrorism laws may be implemented in the laws of Kenya and Uganda without unduly violating individual rights and freedoms, Kennedy Monchera Nyandi.
Chancellor, I have the honor to present to you, for the degree of Doctor of Philosophy in Anatomy and Cell Biology, for a thesis which looks at biological and cultural history of the people of prehistoric Central Katanga in the Democratic Republic of the Congo, Nonhlanhla Dlamini. In biomedical engineering, for a thesis that describes the measurement of bone mineral density of the middle phalanx of the middle finger using dual energy X-ray absorptiometry and computed digital absorptiometry on a slot scanning digital radiography system, Ronald Dendere. In biomedical engineering, for a thesis which focuses on metabolic and functional changes in children with prenatal alcohol exposure in two key components of the cerebellar brainstem circuit that mediates eye blink conditioning, Lindy Duplessis. In clinical science and immunology, for a thesis which assesses prospective immune correlates of risk of developing tuberculosis in infants with differential response to BCG vaccine, which is critical to understand which immune responses induced by vaccination may be important to confer protection against TB, Samuel Ayaba Njika. In emergency medicine, for a thesis which develops a computer simulation model that assesses the effect of emergency medical service system design factors on response time performance in an urban setting, Christopher Stein. In exercise science, for a thesis which evaluates BoxSmart, a nationwide program for for the prevention of rugby-related catastrophic injuries in South Africa, thereby optimizing the effectiveness of this program. James Craig Brown. In exercise science, for a thesis which demonstrates for the first time that genetic factors previously reported to modulate the risk of overuse injuries as a result of participation in sport are also associated with a common occupational overuse injury, carpal tunnel syndrome. Marlies Cornell-Berger. In exercise science, for a thesis which identifies novel associations between collagen gene variants and various musculoskeletal soft tissue injuries and other exercise-related traits, thereby highlighting the role that collagens may play in the etiology of these injuries and other traits. Kevin Sean O'Connell. In human genetics, for a thesis which investigates the prevalence, molecular diagnosis, and in vitro modeling of the neurodegenerative disease spinocerebellar ataxia type 7 in Southern Africa, Danielle Smith. In exercise science, for a thesis which describes the biomechanical, neuromuscular, and metabolic responses in runners who switch to barefoot running with the aim of developing practical guidelines to reduce running injury risk. Nicholas Tam. In medical biochemistry, for a thesis which investigates the molecular mechanisms mediating the role of seminal plasma and seminal plasma prostanoids on signaling pathways which regulate inflammation, tumorigenesis, and HIV susceptibility in cervical cancer, Antonio Oladelli Adefuye. In medical biochemistry, for a thesis which describes the development of integrative computational and experimental approaches to map and predict the effect of polymorphic variation in human cytochrome P450 genes on drug metabolism, Lauren Beth Arendse. In medical biochemistry, for a thesis which makes a significant contribution to our understanding of the role of viruses in cellular transformation and the development of esophageal squamous cell carcinoma, Lamech Malago Muapaga. In medical biochemistry, for a thesis which describes the identification of novel molecular factors which correlate with pathogenicity in Mycobacterium tuberculosis, the causative agent of TB disease, Julian Sitembekile Peters. In medical biochemistry, for a thesis which characterizes the potential of a novel derivative of a natural product isolated from a plant to be developed into a chemotherapeutic agent that can be used to treat esophageal cancer, Nalusha Shanmugam Gaundan. In medical virology, for a thesis which explores the complex interplay between the rapid evolution of HIV and the antibody arm of the human immune system, and how these might provide clues to weaknesses in the virus that could be exploited by designers of HIV vaccines, Gama Patulo Bandawe. In medical virology, for a thesis which characterizes novel South African avian pox viruses and demonstrates that different pox viruses have distinct features that could impact on their potential as vaccine vectors, Christy Maria Offerman. In medicine, for a thesis which describes a new phenotype of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, tuberculosis-associated obstructive pulmonary disease, and the structural abnormalities responsible for impaired lung function, a condition of global significance in countries with a high prevalence of tuberculosis, Brian William Allwood. In medicine, for a thesis which explores the role of melatonin as a novel cardioprotective therapy in pulmonary hypertension, Gerald Jerome Marman. In pediatrics, for a thesis which explores food sensitization and allergy patterns in South African children with atopic dermatitis, focusing on prevalence patterns, predictive values of various tests in determining food allergy, and unique ethnic differences in sensitization and allergy patterns, Claudia Liesel Gray. In psychiatry, for a thesis which identifies and adapts a screening and brief intervention package for adolescent substance use to address co-occurring delinquent behaviors that is suitable for use in South African communities, Tara Khani. In psychiatry, for a thesis which explores the presence of and risk factors for mental disorders and recurrent violence-related injuries, as well as opportunities for injury prevention and mental health interventions in injured emergency center patients. Marie-Claire van der Westhuizen. In public health, for a thesis which describes and evaluates the growth and effectiveness of the South African National Antiretroviral Therapy Program and makes recommendations to improve the delivery of ART services for HIV-positive individuals across the country, Mona Bridget Cornell. In public health, for a thesis which explores the life experiences of migrant women and infants in Cape Town in relation to nutrition during pregnancy and the first 2 years of life, in order to inform public health policy and intervention. Joanne Ruth Hunter Adams.
May I ask all the participants who are not graduates and who are not academic staff to stand and give really a standing ovation to our graduates and to our academic staff, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sure you will all agree with me that this afternoon was a great celebration of 20 years of South African democracy. It shows that it's not all doom and gloom in our country. There are excellent achievements which we should take pride. Particularly, we as an institution, as UCT, we should take pride that despite all our challenges, we are giving back to society in this country, on our continent, and actually in other parts of the world. We are giving back excellent quality of cadres who have gained knowledge and tools in this institution. I say this because sometimes we are overwhelmed with the challenges we still face, and we lose sight that we still are doing well. I was very warmly heartened to realize this afternoon how many first classes came out of this graduation, how many distinctions came out of this graduation. And this is across race, across gender, which means there are healthy developments happening within our society and within our institutions. Most of the graduates today came back to UCT for second and some of them even for third time. We are really very happy that you feel that this is your alma mater and this is a source which will enrich your professional life, but will also enrich you as individuals in values, in the way you position yourself within institutions, within your families, within the nations you belong to. I have to emphasize that health system in our country is still facing huge challenges, and it is in your hands. And here I'm using words of a very good friend of mine who just left us a year ago, when he said, "It is in your hands." I'm using this to say, sometimes our health system is not delivering properly because of management. Sometimes it's because of attitudes. Other times it's because of behaviors. You name it. But here, we realize that it's not a question of knowledge. You prove that you have the right knowledge to turn around our health system. I want to emphasize that South Africa, until like 2 years ago, it was the only country in the world which, without being in war, rates of mortality in what we call maternal mortality and child mortality were increasing. Let me repeat. 2-3 years ago, South Africa was the only country in the world where maternal mortality rates and child mortality rates were rising without being in conflict. And as you know, our country is not really faced with issues of infrastructure. It's not even many times an issue of equipment. It is mostly an issue of management. It was clearly determined that most of maternal and child, and actually neonatal neonatal deaths were happening 24 hours before birth and 24 hours after. So it was clearly identified that it was not because women do not trust the system. They come to hospitals, but it was within our hospitals where they were facing death. Why I'm raising this is to say, with this celebration we just have participated in, 5 years from now, there's no reason why we are going to continue to have the rates of deaths which we have in our hospitals. Of course, it's not your responsibility alone. There are many others who are coming out from different universities with other tertiary institutions, even not only tertiary, but whoever was training nurses, etc. We have an obligation, and I will say you have an obligation as professional, individual and collectively, to turn around these statistics and to provide to our people the quality of services this country can afford and our people deserve. Then I would address the legal fraternity which has just graduated. South Africa still has one of the strong judiciary on the continent. And I think it is an obligation also for you to join hands and to counter some attempts which are already clear of trying to weaken the system. So more than just professionals you are, we urge you to very clearly make a commitment to contribute to strengthen one of the pillars of our democracy. Actually, one of the strengths which we can say, whatever happened, this democracy is not going to be threatened. You are, and it is your choice. You are in areas of extreme importance for what our country is going to become in 20 years to come. So when we celebrate, we are very happy, but we have to say, this country has all the means, particularly it has the human capital to be a winning nation. And it's you. And again, I will say, it is in your hands. But I want to emphasize that this wouldn't be possible without such committed and focused academic staff we have. I know we are criticized that we are not transforming enough. This is an issue we are going to deal with. But more important than who is teaching, more important is who you are teaching and how they come out of this institution. And when we see, the mixture, both in race and gender, and I can even say, and class, which we could see this afternoon, regardless of who teaches, the product is the one we are proud to offer to society, that yes, we will walk this journey of transformation, but the most important transformation is already happening. I know we have another session coming at 6 o'clock. I can't be long. And I want to really thank you. Personally, I want to thank you for having given me this sense of pride and hope that things are on the right track in this institution. And I want to thank the leadership of UCT, our Vice Chancellor, the deputies, the deans, our council, all those who are making sure that in these very turbulent times, we don't lose sight, we don't lose focus, we don't lose our commitment, and we know exactly what we are expected to offer to our society, to our continent, and to the world. I wish you all, every one of you, a peaceful Christmas, a time where you'll be surrounded by your beloved ones. And in celebration, this is going to be naturally a very special Christmas, so that you have peace, you have love, and you have the possibility of recharging the energy. And to all of us, let's just recommit. We did take this country from the shoulders of huge giants of our struggle. We have an obligation to stand on their shoulders and make it really the country of our dreams, in which every child, every woman, every man, every adolescent, every elderly will feel a sense of belonging, will live in dignity, we will be loved and cared for, free from want, free from fear. A country we will all be proud to have built, and this is our country, is South Africa. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you for reminding us so graciously of the many positive things of our country and of our university. But thank you also for leaving us with many things about which we should be thinking very deeply. Thank you for an inspiring message. Thank you, Chancellor. In a few moments, the Chancellor will dissolve the congregation. So when she does, the platform party will process out of the hall, and I invite all the graduates to join the party as we process out of the hall. Please process right down to the bottom of the steps until you come to University Avenue, because, of course, that is important to allow everybody to actually get out of the hall. All of you, all the graduates and their families are invited to the festivities in the Leslie building, which is when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you turn right, and after you've taken all your photographs, you move right to the end, second last building on University Avenue is the Leslie building, and you're all invited to come. The Chancellor will now dissolve the congregation. Please stand.
By virtue of the authority conferred upon me, I hereby dissolve this congregation of the University of Cape Town.